Hi, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Amy Castles. I'm here to talk to you about your goals. I have used the ULA Life to help me balance my goals each and every year, and I first started doing that in 2015 when I met Dr. Dave Braun and Dr. Troy Omdahl. They wrote the book, The ULA Life, Finding Balance in an Unbalanced World. This book is phenomenal. I highly recommend it as it's going to give you a much better explanation than I can do. If you want just the nuts and bolts, then I have this workbook for you. The first things first is you're going to want to print it out. I put it in a journal. I printed out a cover page. So this book is in here, and I can add to it every single year, and I can write in it as well. So what is ULA? ULA is a term that the doctors came up with to describe a life that is balanced. Our world is constantly pulling us in all different directions, and we are always trying to find growth and balance in all the areas of our life. The 7 areas of our life have been identified by Dr. Braun and Dr. Troy Omdahl as fitness, finance, family, field, faith, friends, and fun. These areas of our life are literally a constant work in progress, and each and every year we can only hope and work that we can try to do more every year. This way of identifying and scoping it down into a process of setting your goals and setting your dreams makes it way more attainable than it just be out there in midair. You should know that you are designed by God for greatness and a purpose, and no person is left behind. This is for everybody. This is a gift that we are all given to be able to make our world a better place and lead people. So you should know that you have that within you. For every single person, an ULA life looks very different. For me, my ULA life is sitting on the beach and looking at my children play while I have a charcuterie board that's like sitting on the beach and delivered with drinks and non-alcoholic drinks, maybe like fresh squeezed juices, and the sun is shining bright and it's just an absolutely gorgeous day. Like, that is, to me, the perfect ULA life. I just love the beach. So, but for somebody else, that may be being in the mountains or sitting around the family table playing a game of Monopoly. I don't know. Everybody's is different. It's different for each person. So you have to work through this workbook to find out what is best for you. There are 3 simple steps in finding your ultimate ULA life, and that is, number 1, identifying where you are today, number 2, identifying where you want to go, and number 3, how are you going to get there? These are important things that we've got to work through in order to hit our overall goals. So in this workbook, we're going to work through this process, and I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, page number 4. You are going to work through your personal vision of an ULA life. What does that look like for you? Like I said, each person is different. So for me, fitness, the way that fitness looks for me is fitting into my jeans, no problem. Just like pulling them right on up and they just fit like a glove every single time. And I don't feel bloated. I feel strong in my steps. I'm cleaning my house like it's nobody's business. I feel great in my upper body. I can pick up my son and just move all around. I'm able to run and jump on the trampoline with the kids without sucking wind or feeling like I'm moving through quicksand. It means that I feel like $1 million and I don't have migraines. So that's what the ULA fitness life looks for me. And I wrote down all of that for every area of my life, what that ultimate ULA life looks like. All right, going on to page 5. This is where you are going to review last year. So it's January now. Hopefully it is still January, but if it's not, that's okay. Go over the last 12 months, however you want to do it. But write the date there of what it is that you're reviewing. That way you'll always have it for reference. So you're going to write down the 3 best things that happened to you. These are important to identify as they're going to be something that you're going to learn from. The 3 greatest memories of the past year, the 3 worst things that happened to you, the 3 goals that you hit, the 3 goals that you missed, the 3 greatest lessons from the worst things that happened to you and the goals that you missed. What did you learn from those things that happened to you? And what did you learn from missing those goals? Why did you hit your 3 goals? What is the main reason that you hit it? The main reason that you missed your 3 goals. So these are all things that we want to identify so that we can better make goals for next year. So step one is finding out where you are today. If you were to open the maps on your phone, before you can find directions to your destination, you have to have that blue dot know where you are. It is going to drop a pin exactly where you are, and that is the only way that you'll be able to get there. So we have to go through and rate all the areas of our life in order to find out where we want to go. This is a little scary. It's a little intimidating, but it goes by pretty quick. So if you start on page 7, you're going to rate your ULA fitness, and then into finance, and then your family and your faith and your friend is fun. So what you're going to do is a scale from 1 to 10. So there's 10 questions. Rate each question on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest or least true, and 10 being the most true. So I would rate my current health as a 6. The past 12 months, I've had the worst migraines of my life. They've taken me down. I've got some health issues going on that we're working on, and I rated it a 6. And my body feels good, and I feel pretty strong, but the migraines, I gave it a 6. So you're going to answer all of those questions and then add them up and then divide them by 10, and then that's your score. So my score for ULA Fitness is a 6.3. You're going to do the same thing with all the areas of your life. Once you do, then you're going to be able to put it all together on the ULA wheel. So if you turn to page 14, you're going to see a wheel. The wheel represents your entire life. We want our wheel to roll smoothly, fast, efficiently. Well, if you imagine each of the spokes on that ULA wheel as being a different area of your life, if you have balance, then it's going to roll smoothly. So you're going to take your, here I'll show you mine. You're going to, so I rated a 6.3 on my fitness, right? So I went to the 6th dot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I just did a little bit above. And then for fun, I rated it as about an 8. We've kind of had a lot of fun this year. For friends, I feel great about my friends. I rated it an 8 or a 9. So once you put all of your things there, then you're going to connect the dots. You can see that mine's pretty unbalanced here. Finance is what's really throwing me off. So that is something that we needed to get balanced. It's something that we weren't putting a priority, and we just needed to have better growth in that area. So this is some important things to ask yourself. Is it important to improve your life if you need to spend less time in a certain area? Well, me and Trey discussed that we both rated low on finance. We need to stop having so much fun. We've been having fun, and it's kind of throwing our finances off. So I'm going to put some less time into that for 2020. What is more important to you, life balance or life growth? Is it possible that there are chunks of your time or seasons in your life where you need to neglect a certain area of your life? Well, we always need to have fun, or we just break. So maybe things like friends should be brought down a little bit for me. Maybe I shouldn't spend so much time with friends, but although I don't feel like I necessarily spend a lot of time with friends, so we'll have to get there. But identify if there's some areas of your life that you need to not spend so much time on so that you can put more effort into the other areas. Maybe that is fun for us. We just need to have less of it. Okay, so now it's time to move on to step number 2. Step number 2 is the best. It's so much fun. So step 2 is about dreaming. It is important that we have dreams. Oh my gosh, I love to dream. That is my thing. I do love to dream. So what if failure was not an option for you and you were going to succeed? What if you could have anything that you wanted in life? What would your life look like, and what would it feel like? What if your dreams? What are your dreams? I'll share with you mine. If I could have anything I wanted, I would have a house on the West Coast, a beach. I would have a house in the mountains, and I would have a house somewhere in the South as my main hub, and then I would have a house somewhere in the Caribbean. So I would go back and forth during different times of the year and live in blocks or something, that would be my ultimate dream of where I would live. What would your financial dream look like? If I had my financial dream, oh my gosh, we would have investments and real estate, and all the kids' colleges would be paid for, no problem. We would have just a perfect savings account, and of course all of our financial investments would just be flourishing. Like, that would be the ultimate financial dream for me. So write down your dreams and then make it even bigger. So you're going to see that on the next page, you're going to have 2 spaces. So you're going to see that you have your dream, but you also want to write down why. It's important to understand why you have that dream, because if you have a strong enough why, it's going to resonate with you more. So it's very important that you answer why to find more purpose in your life and to be able to tap into that passion that will help make your dreams a reality. If you need to make 2 of these pages so that you can write it down and then scratch it out and make it bigger, or make a new sheet, then double up on page 17 and 18 so that you can do that. If you're a really good dreamer and you have no problem, then go ahead and write it all down. Or maybe you want to write in pencil and then erase it. I don't know. It's totally up to you. But just make sure that you write a big dream and then you have a good why with there. Why do you want that? Why do you want that house on the beach, Amy? Well, I'll tell you, it's a house on the beach. I love the weather. Oh my gosh. If this is what happens, you start thinking about your dream, you start becoming emotional when you start thinking about why. Like I think of the beach in Oregon and I'm like, oh, I just love to go walk the beach. It's like my favorite. I love to get bundled up in a hoodie and go out for lunch. And but I think about the Caribbean. Oh my gosh, to be able to have that blue water and to sit on the beach with the umbrella and a book. Okay, see, I'm getting too excited. I get super emotional about my dreams. All right, let's move on. Now here's step 3. Okay. This is where you've got to place a good amount of energy into each area, and don't expect to do this all in one day. It's going to take a lot of time. When you're setting goals, each goal needs to be a SMART goal. What that means is SMART, specific, measurable, accountable, realistic, and time sensitive. So if I just said, I want to lose weight, and that's all I said, it's not going to be very effective. But if it's very specific, such as, I'm going to lose 5 pounds by such and such date, my friends know, and I give a realistic time frame, because realistically, 1 to 2 pounds is realistic. If I said 5 to 10 pounds a week, that is not realistic. So I have a specific amount of weight to lose by a specific date. It's realistic. It could possibly happen. It could possibly happen. And I have an accountability by sharing with maybe my spouse or with my friends or posting it on Facebook or whatever it is. That is how you make your goals. Page 19 and 20 are going to go over that in way more detail. So now, just some tips for goal setting. This is step 3 tips, your goal setting. Don't rush it. I already said that. Don't rush it. Go through one area of the 7 F's at a time. Try not to skip around. When you're looking at your goals or looking at the category, maybe review the dream that you have, because that dream and your why is going to help you set your goals. So your goals need to align up with your dreams. Okay, so let's say that your dream was to be retired by the time you're 50, but your goal was, I want to open a restaurant when I turn 55. Like, hello, those don't really mix. I thought you wanted to be retired by the time that you're 50. So make sure that you have alignment there, right? So those 3 goals have to get closer to the dream. Write at least 2 action steps for each goal, okay? So each area of ULA is going to have 3 goals and each goal will have 2 action steps each, okay? Once you do that, then you're gonna write an affirmation statement related to the sum of your goals. So let me just give you an example here. Let's say I'm setting my financial goals. Here's an example. Goal number 1, save $1,000 emergency fund within 1 month. Action step number 1, open a savings account. Action step number 2, have a garage sale. Goal number 2, pay off my Visa credit card in 6 months. Action step number 1, cut up the card. Action step number 2, pay an extra $500 a month on the card. Okay. Goal number 3, increase my income by 20% by the end of the year. Action step number 1, complete the marketing plan. And action step number 2, get 1 additional sale per month. So 3 goals, 2 action steps per goal. Once you're done, you're going to write 1 affirmation statement that is going to relate to all 3 of those goals. So here's a sample affirmation statement. I am financially free and living abundantly. Maybe this is something that you post on your wall or put on your bathroom mirror, something that you recite every day. It's something, but you've got to believe it. You've got to believe it. You've got to receive it. You've got to ask for it. You've got to pray for it. You've got to do all the things. Okay? All right, let's move on. Here you're going to see the page on page 22. Feel free to print these out as many times as you want. So Ula Fitness, write your goal here. Step number 1, step number 2. Any notes that you have, put it here. Goal number 2, write it here. Goal number 3, write your affirmation statement here. Take your time going through all 7 areas. After this, I'm going to have another video number 2, and that is going to explain the valve and the hub and some more information that you're going to need to know. But for now, just do this. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.